All right, here, David's Games and Parts. I am currently working on probably what's going to be my first video, Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color. So you might see my workstation is a little messy here, and there's just some random stuff that's to hold up the games, but I just moved it up here. I got the TV set up there. That's how I test my games and also how I play Xbox. I got some other seemingly random projects here. Power Mac G4. Fixing that power supply. Probably be ready within a few weeks. PS2 here. I did fix it, but then it broke again. The disc tray stopped opening whenever I put, we'll find the lid, put the lid back on. This lid here. So I'm trying to figure out that issue there. I'll keep you posted with that. This one does have the expansion bay, it's all that, and I know that it doesn't look the cleanest right now, but I will clean it after I'm done fixing it, so don't worry about that. And there's the lid, and under that lid is a copy of Sims Greatest Hits for PS2. Now for my games here, I've got games that are partially for testing and partially just because I want them. So Crash Bandicoot, I use that both as a testing game and also just a game that, to kind of play. Though I've not actually really started playing it. I don't have a PS1. I do have a PS3 though, so I should probably get to that. Tomb Raider, same reason, I got that one first, specifically for testing, but also because I knew I'd be interested in it. Star Wars Battlefront, I played the EA Battlefronts, and I decided let's visit where the series started, where everyone says is so much better. I disagree, I still like the game though. Star Wars The Clone Wars and Tetris Worlds, this just looked cool. Really glad it was only $2 because it does not work on Xbox 360. The separate versions do though. Halo 1. Now, it's a little tricky with one hand, but I got this for $10. Very good choice. Got me into the Halo series. The first game that I bought was actually this copy of Halo 3 right there. But the first one that I played was this one here. And I got it soon before getting this Xbox 360. And yeah, you can see there's no disc, no case, no manual. This copy did not come with a manual, so I'll buy that separately later. The disc is in there. Next, we got Halo 2, which is possibly, it's between Halo 2 and Halo Reach. I'd say is my favorite Halo. Tough to decide, but very good game. Not sure if this one has a manual. We'll check in on that one later. Halo 3, this one does have a manual. First one that I bought, as I said earlier. And yeah, really good game. I don't have that much to say about it though. I think personally 2 is a little bit better and reached as well. But this is still a really solid game, and it's got dual wielding, which is the last time we see that. ODST, I was very hyped for this game before I bought it. It's pretty much just DLC for Halo 3 in a sense, but this one's got the multiplayer map pack. I've got the manuals in here, I think, and I've got, I had a really fun time with it. Even though I missed dual wielding, and the story isn't exactly as some might think it might tell. If you look at the marketing, you probably think that'll be very depressing. It isn't. It's a very good game. Play it. Halo Reach, also a very good game, my favorite in the series. I really like the survival mode that you get to play. Lone Wolf Mission, top tier and quite devastating. Just an overall really good game. I like the weapons a lot. And there's also the funny golf club you can get. Halo 4, have not played that one yet. I'm going to get to it after I finish playing Resident Evil 5 and Call of Duty Ghosts. Resident Evil 5, really like 4, so might as well start playing that. Call of Duty Ghosts. Well, I first started playing Call of Duty earlier this year with Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. There's a really interesting story behind why I got those games. I will tell you guys about that later. But for now, I got those games for about $5 each, and then later I bought Modern Warfare 3 for around the same price, or maybe $5 more. But another game convention, which is where I bought the first two, but this was a different one. I bought this for about the $15 that says here. Or I think I actually got to take $5 off. The guy was quite nice. But I got it because the steelbook looked cool, to be honest. I knew this game is very controversial. All right, so in my last video, there's going to be a funny little cut because I ran out of storage as I was filming it. But Call of Duty Ghosts for the 360 steelbook, I bought it because it was the steelbook. It just looked cool, and I still think it looks cool, but I got this at the same time as I bought Call of Duty 4 for PC, which I'll show later, but I got that version because it was a PC game, and I just thought that was cool. I don't have a PC. But it's also my second time buying Call of Duty 4. It's going to be my third soon, if I do buy it for 360. So, I'm going to put Ghosts back in its spot. We can actually start focusing on why I filmed this video in the first place. We can get back to game collections and stuff like that in another video. I have a lot to talk about there, and there'll be more to talk about in the future. Is this Power Mac G4? Not only am I going to do some retro computing with it, probably running some documents, and looking at the internet through Frog Finder, maybe 10.4 Fox. But I'm also going to run some games on it. I've got Quake in mind, Quake 2, Quake 3, if I can find Quake 1, if that even exists. For Power Mac G4, I'll run that on here. The Call of Duties that released on this, so I know Call of Duty 2 for a fact released on this. There's some others. There's Quake 4, which I didn't mention, Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 3. Will be my third time buying Doom 1. And just, there's tons of great games that you can get on this in general. Those are some examples I can list off the top of my head. But Spy Hunters is another really good one, and Rainbow Six. But we'll go back to that later. So, the reason I started this video in the first place, a few weeks back, actually probably about a month back now, I found a Game Boy Color. My finger got in the way, yeah. But I found a Game Boy Color. It was just there, and in there was Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color. So I tested it. Does not work. There's some mild signs of water damage. So I'm not sure if I can sell this. I might keep it, or I might sell it and just get the Super Nintendo version instead. But it's also a fun little oddity, so I might keep it. But I'll probably make a video on that Game Boy Color too, and I'll put it up for sale on the shop a bit too, but for now I'm trying to fix this, because I did fix that Game Boy Color. It's very dirty. Unfortunately, I didn't make a video on the process of fixing it, because I wasn't really sure on where I should start at that point. But now I know what I'm doing. So in order to clean this up, I put on some non-flammable electrical contact cleaner, and that was to clean off some of the water damage and the corrosion, which the water damage did come off, and a bit of the corrosion too, but not all of it, not the worst parts. Here we've got the rubbing alcohol. This is like my go-to cleaner, the main thing I use. Most people swear by 98% isopropyl alcohol, and I will get that at one point. But for now, this is what they had at Canadian Tire, so it does the job. And the cartridge here, I'm going to see if I can get to show on video. So yeah, I'm sorry for the bad camera work. This is my first video ever, and it's being filmed on an iPhone. But if I can show a bit of the corrosion on camera, right on the top gold chip there. No, the second top gold chip. Right in the sort of middle there. You can see a tiny bit. There's some really obvious spots right around here. And the worst part is right around here, right where my finger is pointing. Those holes there. It's a bit hard to see on camera, but it's also hard to see in real life, but I can see it, and it does make a difference, because when I tested it, I could load up the game, could play around in the menu and stuff, but once I got to the actual game, I clicked a level, selected start, just booted it up, the Game Boy Color screen goes black, it freezes, I can't reset it, I can't do anything, so then I have to manually reset by turning off the power. So this is actually not the first time that I've fixed a corroded game cartridge, which is why I have a magic eraser right here. That's how I'm going to try it. See, I'm going to make a video on it when I make a video just about Resident Evil 2 and its N64 version in general. I think there's going to be a cut right here, a little bit. But here we have the rust here, and on that N64 cartridge that I have that I'll show in another video, the thing just did not turn on. I put in my console, it does not turn on. And if you look at the ports, even now, it's it's corroded really badly, worse than this. But I actually did manage to make it start with the combo of this, and this magic eraser. I think it was the magic eraser that did most of the work. I rubbed that right on the corrosion spots, cleaned it off. So I'm gonna try that with this copy of Donkey Kong Country 2, see if it's salvageable. Donkey Kong Country 1, I mean. See if it's salvageable. If not, that's that, but I think we can make this work. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll make another video talking about it after. All right, so I did try that. I tried it with the magic eraser. It still freezes, but I think I'm going to try to replace the battery, because it might be a save corruption issue, because all three of the saves represent the time as 1%, 1%. So I guess, yeah, 1%, 1% time, which percentage symbol in the time seems very weird to me. And then 36% complete save file. And then it shows that for all three save files. I erased those save files and then tried to boot up a level in a new save, and it crashed at the same spot. And then the save files come back. So I think it might be corrupted data, probably related to the water damage that occurred. So I think maybe swapping the battery could help, because I think the battery's holding on to corrupted data. I still have hopes for this, so I'm not gonna throw this out into, yeah, like I said, we're fixing this in a bit, but the graveyard. This is the graveyard of consoles and stuff. Here we got PS1 that can be saved potentially in the future. It's just the disc tray is cracked because we swapped out this functioning disc tray and then put it into one where the disc tray was cracked, but everything else worked fine. So that way it ended up as a perfect PS1 that was ready to be sold, but this one had to be the sacrifice, the donor. This one confuses me and pisses me off at the same time. I don't know how this happened, but a piece of PS2 just came off my PS2. Wii U gamepad. The LCD is destroyed on that one back there, so it's unusable, but it is still parts, so we can take things like buttons, stuff like that from it. PS2 power supply and PS2 motherboard. The PS2 power supply here is actually probably still usable, but it's being held as parts in case there is a PS2 where its power supply is not working. Just take it from here. But the motherboard, I'm pretty sure that's done. Unless it turns out that the issue was the power supply all along, and this can be revived, but I highly doubt. This has visual issues. Like I plugged in, the video was originally split into 4 different sectors. It was glitchy all around, but then it just hit a point where it was just straight up glitchy video, and you could not see anything. It was completely unusable, and that's most likely indicative of a motherboard issue. You can't really do anything about that, so that's that in the graveyard. Wii U console in there. This is the console that's attached to this gamepad, but I believe this console can be brought back. So that's where we're trying not to put this copy of Donkey Kong Country. And I know that was probably like gore for some of you guys, seeing the condition that those are being held in, all put together in a box. Don't worry, they're fine. I make sure not to have them scratched. They're positioned in such a way where they shouldn't be scratching at each other, and they're also, let's be honest, kind of junk for the most part. But yeah, we're gonna come back to this. I think it might be the battery. Might be a bit more cleaning. There's still some corrosion left, but for now, this is a project that has not really gone anywhere, but we will come back to it. So that'll probably be it for my first video talking about Donkey Kong Country. But in the works will be a video talking about Resident Evil 2 for the N64, which I know a lot of you are passionate about Resident Evil 2. A lot of you are also passionate about the N64 version because you love everything about Resident Evil 2. You've played the game to death, but you've never played the N64 version because it's kind of rare. The N64 version is the first and only version I've played, so I plan on getting the PC version soon. and I will get a PC for that. But for now, I only have the N64 version, and it is a great version. So I'm going to show off some of the features in it, talk about the process behind it, backstory, why I wanted it, what got me into the series, stuff like that, and just collecting. All right, so there was another funny little camera cut from low storage here, but as I was going to say, there will be more videos on the way after this, with general collecting and repairs as the subjects of them. This Power Mac G4 will be the subject of a few videos in the future, and I'm going to repair its power supply first so that I can actually turn it on, and I will make videos about that when that's done. I'm probably going to run out of storage before I can finish filming more, so see ya. Until next time, have a good one.